Ladies and gentlemen, it is November 3rd, 2022. My name is Will Coons. This is an HM bonus edition of the Homemade Broadcast, HMBradio.com, Homemade Broadcast Radio, HMBradio.com, iTunes, Stitcher, HMB Radio, all one word. WillsPodcast.com if you have a head injury and don't know how to get there, or WillsYouTube.com where you can watch previous vids. Johnny B show off tonight due to the lightning. So I have a story. I mean, this has been in the news for a few days now. Paul Pelosi, husband of Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, attacked in his home after a mental patient broke in last week now? How many days ago was this? Like 3 or 4, right? I don't know. You know. It's recent. And how? How did this happen? I don't understand. So I saw a news story today that this break-in was captured on video, and it was supposedly supposed to be monitored by Capitol Police. They installed these cameras about 8 years ago, and they just so happened to take a coffee break during the break-in when this happened. You know, as a person who's open-minded to things that may not be, I don't know, false flags, conspiracy theories. Okay, fine. I'll just say it right now. It makes your brain take a little bit and go, again, you know, after Epstein, these cameras aren't monitored just during this time. There was reports from Politico that allegedly there was a third person in the residence that opened the door to greet the police officers and kind of show them in to this mental patient and Paul Pelosi, where they were hiding so they could apprehend this crazy person. That ended up not being true. And for whatever reason, Politico is apparently they don't read their own newspaper, because Stephen Miller, Red Steez on Twitter, pointed this out, that Adam Wren from Politico said that even as Republican leaders condemn the initial assault on Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, other GOP figures are broadcasting a much different message on social media, at turns downplaying, mocking, and trading in disinformation about the attack. And he also points out, Red Steez does, do you read your own paper? Because Politico says right here, you can see it among those baseless claims that a third person answered the door when police arrived at Pelosi's home. And you go to their reporting a few days earlier, Politico.com, officers arrived at the house, knocked on the front door, and were let inside by an unknown person. So they're mad that people are still running with this third person conspiracy. And, you know, it's San Francisco. It's 2:30 in the morning. It's there's just a lot of factors going on. They're in their underwear, or at least the mental patient is. I don't know if Paul seems like a robe type of guy, honestly. But is it, I mean, it's not crazy to go, it's a little weird. How did this man, this lunatic, get to his house? They live in this $45 million, something ridiculous mansion in San Francisco. How do you even get in there? Even if did somebody drop him off? That seems like police need to talk to that person. Did he take an Uber? Seems like police would need to talk to that Uber driver. Did he walk? That's a long walk from his house. You got to go up a private driveway. There's a security guard that you got to talk to. How did this dude get in the house? I mean, we know how he got in the house. He, hit it with a hammer and got in there. But how did he get in the premises to get in there? I don't know, man. A lot of weird stuff going on. So Politico, though, with this accusing other people of spreading disinformation, like it just came out of nowhere. This information came from somewhere. It came from Politico. You see, that's the problem. So the biggest peddlers in this disinformation, misinformation, malinformation, whatever, tend to be corporate news outlets. It doesn't, yes, it has come from other places like 4chan, whatever, but this is just such a glaring, I don't know what you call it, just like it blinds you how bright this error is. And this is the great thing about Twitter. And I think that's why they wanted to control it so bad, because you can easily get memory hold. It's hard to keep up with all this information that comes at you at all times. But there's people out there with good memories, like this guy, Red Steez, and he's able to catalog this stuff. And God bless him, because he's been a very good asset. So follow him on Twitter if you're on there. He's pretty good. He's a good media critic, and does like probably on the right hand side of the spectrum. But that's usually where the criticism comes from, unfortunately, for media. And you got to ask yourself, well, why is that? Well, we all know why. But man, this is just classic. I mean, they put it out there, they accuse others of spreading it, and then they write articles saying that they're spreading this information. It's wild. It's wild. I want to know what your wacky don't get me kicked off YouTube. All right, but I would like to know your wacky conspiracies about what the hell happened in this event. I don't think it's crazy. Any of it, I don't think is super crazy. I think probably the easiest explanation is probably true in most scenarios. And it was probably some lunatic that got radicalized online. It seemed like he was on the far left. And then for whatever reason, there's a lot of people on the far left that just do the loop and end up in QAnon Pizzagate stuff. I think that guy with the moose head on January 6th was the same way. There's definitely a section of that population that kind of ends up there for whatever reason. You can't find his blog. I would love to read his little manifesto and his blog post, but they're gone. You can't read those. And that's another thing where you got to ask yourself, well, why can't I read them? Well, you'll get radicalized. No, I won't. No, I won't. But some people might. Okay, maybe, but no, they probably not. We should have access to this stuff anyways. Anyway, what happened to Paul Pelosi? What went on that night? Leave your comments below. You can get in touch with the show. Leave a voice or text message, 813-693-2124, HMBradio.com, and subscribe, willsyoutube.com. Hit the button up there on the vid somewhere in this general vicinity. Will Kuntz back tomorrow on the Johnny B Show on Friday, theboneonline.com, 1025 here in Tampa Bay on your radio dial. Have a great evening. Thank you.